5 seconds, a van at night, men in dark work coats, a silence, a door opens, a room full of gold. This was not a scene from a film, the quiet, mundane start of one of Britain's most notorious crimes. It began without a gunshot, without a siren, without any immediate sense of the chaos that would follow. The moment was fleeting, a small tear in a normal Tuesday morning. It would unravel lives, rewrite the rules of British policing, birth a dark legend that would echo for decades. The Brinksmat depot was a product of its time, a concrete box, a steel box, built to inspire confidence through its lack of character, deliberately unremarkable, designed to blend into the anonymous industrial estates around Heathrow Airport. Its purpose was not to be seen, but to secure. Inside, corridors led to a strong room with multiple locks, alarms, and a 3-inch steel door. Security was layered. Even guards held only partial knowledge of the protocols. To an outsider, breaching this fortress seemed to demand military precision and overwhelming force, but the robbers knew something the world did not. The strongest chain fails at its weakest link. That link was human. The gang had an inside man, Anthony Black, a security guard protecting the very treasure his associates planned to steal. His involvement made the impossible plausible. Shifts, layout, timing to bypass surveillance. The crew, led by Brian Robinson and Mickey McAvoy, were seasoned South London robbers, more bludgeon than finesse. Their plan was simple: use Black to gain entry, overpower a handful of guards, and be gone with what they believed was about £3 million. Not ideology, not revenge, greed. A score to vault them from the street into unimaginable wealth. The gold in Unit 7 was a specific consignment bound from London to Tokyo, belonging to Johnson Matthey bankers. 6,800 bars, each stamped and traceable, packed into 76 boxes, stacked on pallets within the vault, with diamonds and cash alongside. Gold is borderless wealth, dense, portable power. A single bar, small in the hand, worth thousands. To banks, an asset on a balance sheet. To thieves, a key to freedom and status. Black's intel primed them for foreign currency, about £3 million. When the vault opened, no glitter, just mundane boxes hiding an extraordinary fortune. The estimate was laughable. The gold alone, around 26 million, over 90 million in today's money. A quick robbery morphed instantly into one of the largest heists in history. They were no longer just thieves. They were custodians of a fortune vast enough to destroy them. The operation hinged on one man, Anthony Black. His sister's relationship with Brian Robinson opened the door. Not a hardened criminal, just tempted by a life-changing payout. For a cut, he became their eyes and ears, mapping vulnerabilities with insider ease. Floor plans, sensor locations, blind spots, shift timings to ensure minimum staffing. Most critically, how to bypass the front door without tripping an alarm. No explosions, just colleagues on an early shift. At 6:40 a.m., he would open a side door. Black's presence made it feel normal, sowing confusion and stifling resistance. He was the Trojan horse. He saw a victimless crime against a faceless corporation liberating insured cash. But his cooperation unlocked a prize so huge it ignited decades of violence, paranoia, and death. At 6:40 a.m. Saturday, November 26, 1983, the plan moved. A blue transit van, 6 men, boiler suits, balaclavas. As arranged, Anthony Black greeted them. The guards were caught completely off guard. No shootout, no drama. A swift, brutal takeover. Handcuffs, hoods, commands. They hunted vault keys and doused captives in petrol to compel cooperation. A lit match brandished at Robin Risley. Codes surrendered. But inner doors were on a time lock. 90 minutes of rising risk, trapped with hostages. At 8:15, the strong room opened, and the truth hit them. Not cash. 3 tons of bullion, a logistical nightmare. They improvised. A warehouse forklift, frantic stacking of gold, platinum, diamonds, travelers' checks. By 8:30, loaded to groaning suspension. They drove into anonymity. A guard wriggled free and raised the alarm. The scene was cold. The van gone, the gold gone, petrol stench lingering. The news broke like a thunderclap, the scale hard to fathom, £26 million of gold. Headlines were sensational, the public captivated. Lloyds offered a £2 million reward. For Scotland Yard, a humiliation, a fortress breached with ease, and a fortune vanished. Operation Midas launched. Investigators looked inward, certain an insider was key. Suspicion fell on Anthony Black. Under pressure, he confessed and named Brian Robinson and Mickey McAvoy. Arrests came swiftly. Despite scant forensics, a jury believed Black. In December 1984, Robinson and McAvoy got 25 years, Black 6. A hollow victory. The masterminds were caged, but the gold, the story's center, remained missing. The real challenge, laundering 3 tons of traceable bullion, was only beginning, led by shadowy figures who could make fortunes disappear. Stealing the gold was easy. Turning marked bullion into spendable cash was the true test. Every bar numbered. No legitimate buyer. Enter Kenneth Noy, builder, police informant, brilliant fence. The bridge between armed robbery and high finance. His method, simple, ingenious. The bars were traceable, the gold was not. Melt the evidence. In a shed at his Kent home, they mixed Brinksmat gold with copper coins, recasting into plain, unmarked ingots. Then sell back into the market, including, audaciously via a Bristol branch of Johnson Matthey. Profits laundered through offshore accounts and fronts, London to the Isle of Man, Jersey, Liechtenstein, Switzerland, Spain. Money bought property, fueling Docklands redevelopment and luxury villas on the Costa del Sol. Corrupt professionals engineered the wash, ensuring the trail to Kent went cold. This transformation elevated a depot raid into international organized crime, exposing cracks in global finance and offering a laundering blueprint. While McAvoy and Robinson sat in prison, Noy and associates turned heavy, identifiable metal into a liquid, untraceable river of cash that corrupted everything it touched. The fortune did not bring peace. It unleashed paranoia, betrayal, and violence, the so-called curse of Brinksmat. Trust evaporated. Weak links and suspected informants became targets. Lives unraveled. In 1985, at Kenneth Noy's home, Detective Constable John Fordham on surveillance was confronted. A struggle. Fordham was stabbed to death. Noy claimed self-defense and was acquitted of murder, cementing a ruthless reputation. Later he received 14 years for handling the gold. The toll grew. Nick Whiting, jeweler, shot and stabbed. Solly Nahome, financial advisor, shot outside his home. Gilbert Winter, courier, vanished, later found dead. More than 20 people tied to the gold met violent ends. Not supernatural, but the brutal logic of organized crime. Wealth corrupted, fear ruled, families fractured, small-time players trapped in a game beyond control, the gold a poisoned chalice, a fleeting taste of luxury, followed by slow, inevitable ruin. Brinksmat was a watershed, reshaping policing and crime alike. It exposed weaknesses in chasing complex, cross-border money trails. The Drug Trafficking Offences Act 1986 began a new era of asset tracing and confiscation. For organized crime, it was a masterclass. Melt, front companies, offshore havens, a playbook replicated worldwide. Massive untraceable cash fueled syndicates and fed the late 80s and 90s cocaine boom. The influence rippled like contagion. Decades on, much of the gold, perhaps half, was never recovered. Its whereabouts remain an enduring mystery. New links surface from time to time. Experts quip that anyone wearing UK gold after 1983 might wear Brinksmat, an exaggeration. But it shows how deeply the bullion seeped into the legitimate economy. The crime didn't end, it dissolved into everyday life. Imagine a single gold bar. It shines in the dark. Small, heavy, it can buy many things. But here it brought sorrow, it brought secrets. It left a long trail of questions. The legacy is not just a daring raid, but the unsettling truth that its proceeds still hide in foundations, portfolios, perhaps even in a stranger's wedding ring. The gold waits, so does the truth. The